Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Fernando, good morning. We are here. We
Good
started.
evening, Eti. Good morning.
How are you today? How was the weekend? We started streaming now on YouTube at this moment. How was the weekend? Was it cold or natural or rainy? How was it?
It
It's a
was
bit cold.
cold, but
Yeah.
it was great. Yes.
Here, the
And
day.
yours, Eti.
Yes, thank you. The days are getting warmer. Today we have like 30 degrees with feeling of like 32. So the summer is proceeding. It's a very beautiful day.
It is a nice weather yet, or too hot already?
It is, yeah, it gets tricky at 10:30 in the morning
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
But the first hours of the morning are really nice, and the evening is even beautiful. I mean, very charming. So we have to
Yeah.
take care in the heart. I mean, in the highest uh, moments.
Yes.
And here is our friend Rodrigo. Good morning, Rodrigo. How are you today?
Good morning, Eti. Good morning, Fernando and Felipe, and all friends on YouTube. I'm very happy, Eti. Eti, I'm very happy. Um, you know, always we have a very good times here when we are talking. On Shabbat, we had a beautiful conversation, and today I hope that we can discuss and talk about this elevate themes. Thank you very much. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom, and good morning, Jill. How are you today?
Shalom, how are you? I'm doing good.
I'm fine, and we are here very happy to start reading the book with you.
Yeah,
And
I'm excited for today. It's so different.
yes,
Hello, Diogo. Eti.
Hello, hello.
so if we all of
Hello,
us,
Jill.
yes, if we, all of us are ready, and Felipe, when would you like to start playing? And Fernando, how would you like to? Just a general question because everything is happening alive. So, when is it fitting you to play and to sing? How do you feel like?
It, I don't know it. Yeah, I was thinking that maybe we could enter into the class, and in a second moment we could play a little bit and talk about. This is what I was thinking. I couldn't enhance with Fernando yet. We didn't prepare. We are not in the same. I guess it would be better when we could be at the same place, because sometimes playing together via internet is tricky because of the delays and so.
Mhm.
But I guess this was what I was thinking about. Just start to feel the mood and propose some art
Entries.
performances. Yeah.
Okay, so you'd rather that we should start reading, and then you'd like to yes. This is
Ye-
yeah.
Yes, actually, I was thinking about, since you asked, let me share it, what I was thinking just a few moments before the class. I was thinking that we could start reading and discussing the topics, and it came to me an idea for that we could all together as a group of friends start to think about what could be I mean, we could select some verses in Hebrew of or English of the book of Esther and talk about, and then with these verses, or somebody could even make some I mean, some poetry inspired in this kind of in the mood or in the themes of the book of Esther, and maybe we could start like a composition, you know, like something together, or make a I don't know the word in English, like Fernando made in last session and Shabbat to the declamation. I don't know if
Yes.
it's correct.
Yes.
Of some verses with a musical background and so, but I was thinking about bring this idea of us together at some point, start to propose some kind of music and poetry composition together, if it's possible. I don't know if it will work out, you know, but it was just the idea, just an
Yes.
idea.
It's a great opening, and thank you for sharing this opening with us. Thank you so much. And
Thank
Ruth,
you.
yes, thank you so much. And I would like to greet Ruth with a good morning, and Shelton as well. We are very happy.
Hello, Etty.
Hello, Ruth. How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
We are happy that you're here, and also Shelton. Good morning.
Good morning, Auntie. Good morning, everyone. Shalom, shalom, shalom.
So, with your permission, I'd like to move to the whiteboard, the concept board. And here we see, I just get closer, we can see the first four pages of the book. Here I'll get even closer. On the upper left, this is the German cover of the book. Die Rolle Esther, Megillat Esther. This is the German. This is the original. And here, this is the English text that Amy, our friend, donated to us. And this is the book cover of the English version, or the English translation. Just to introduce us to the general concept. And here are the first four pages. Here we start, yes, upper left, upper right, down left and down right. We have 4 pages, and now we are looking for a volunteer to read. Page 1, preface. Who would like to start reading?
I'd love to start reading if you want me to.
Thank you, Jill. Do you see the whole text? Do you read from YouTube or from the whiteboard? Do you see the whole text?
I see the whole text. I also have my book here. I see all 4 of the pages right now, but I have my book in front of me if you just want me to read this first page 7.
Yes, we could start reading page 7, and if those who are listening, all of us, if we have questions or remarks, please save them to the end of the page or first paragraph, and then we could integrate, not to interrupt the flow of the reading. Yes, Jill, please.
Okay, I'm going to read the preface first. Esther in Hebrew means I shall hide myself. According to ancient lore, it means God hiding in the world's perceptibility. God's hiding is supposed to be the consequence of a definite purposive interest on the part of man. A God in hiding is ere long called a slumbering God, or at least a God who does not directly interfere with the world. And in the end, people come to think God does not exist at all, for they can conduct the world's affairs without regard to God. They can manage things very well by themselves. Results in the field of science and technology seem to justify this attitude and this interest. Yet this very attitude to life has brought with it unprecedented pessimism, profound apathy, a dismal sense of doom, together with symptoms of egoism, brutality, moral turpitude. In those circles where the Bible is not merely regarded as a production of ancient history, but where the fundamental structure of man and of mankind is still recognized in the Bible, the aspect stated above is known. For it is known to them that what part it forms of a far greater totality. It is a fundamental structure which the Bible proves to contain as something miraculous. The prodigies of nature which determine the exterior in this world appear to be accompanied by miracles of the Word which find their expression in man and in mankind. In my introductory book, Roots of the Bible, I have made an attempt to give an exposition of this matter, pointing out especially the serious and accountable way in which this rediscovery within the Word can take the place of universally humane values. This is of inestimable significance in these times. From the immense mass of material in this field, I have selected the story of Esther as subject for an initial publication subsequent to above-mentioned introduction. It might, for that matter, have been any other part of the great body of the Bible. Owing to the specific character of the Word and the structure of the Bible, the stories, one and all, have equal actuality and universal significance. Let us say it was coincidence which led to the choice of Esther as an initial subject. We shall notice by and by that the story of Esther sheds a peculiar light on the phenomenon called coincidence. This book can be read without any difficulty, even though one has not studied the book, introducing this special approach. After perusal of this book, however, the reader will be eager to get acquainted with the introductory reflections, for they certainly are fascinating. Can I go ahead and just read to the end of this page,
Yes,
Eddie?
of course, of course.
Okay. It is advisable first to read the story of Esther as it occurs in the Bible, and then to keep it at hand when reading this book. It is, in fact, a good thing to have the Bible ready at hand, even though, as it often happens, one is not well versed in it. Do not get upset if you should have no mastery of Hebrew. Precaution has been taken that everybody will be able to read this book without any difficulty. On behalf of those acquainted with Hebrew, the Hebrew words have been rendered in transcription. In doing so, I have attempted to proceed along consistent lines, which implies that U should be pronounced as U, G as G in great, Cha as Cha in Scottish lock. For those that are particularly interested in the study, an index with sources of information has been added at the end of the book. As already stated in the preface of To Roots of the Bible, this approach is based on ancient, often on very ancient sources. One should, however, learn to revalue them. They are not merely nice or instructive little stories, or useful and interesting information on customs of living. One will also learn about the motive for the choice of the specific terminology. In order not to interpret people's reading with footnotes, I have added notes, information concerning sources, etc., at the end of the book with reference to the page and the subject in question. They are of particular importance to those who desire to dive deep into the matter. One can eventually consult that part of the book in the course of reading. The most important sources for this book are found in the Midrash Esther Rabbah, and the Tract of Megillah, of the Talmud Bali, the Targum, and the Targum Sheni on Esther. A more extensive bibliography encompassing the entire field of ancient lore will be found in the Roots of the Bible. Generally speaking, I have not referred to any sources more recent than those of the late Middle Ages, the same as in my introductory book. Antwerp, January 1967, Friedrich Weinreb.
Thank you so much, Jill. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Questions or references, I would like to hear from you if you have questions or thoughts regarding those 2 pages.
Thank you, Jill. Just one question. In German, what is the subtitles of the book? Can you translate for us?
Das Buch Esther nach der altischen jüdischen Überlieferung, the book of Esther, towards the ancient Judaism. Überlieferung, I'm not sure the last word in German. So the book of Esther towards the ancient Judaism.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
When it says that it's advisable to read the story of Esther as it occurs in the Bible, would you say that the English version is far off in translation from the Hebrew version?
It depends. You mean when we read the text in Hebrew and we read the text, you mean the biblische, I mean the Bible text in Hebrew versus the Bible text in English? Is there
Yeah.
a difference? Yes.
Yes.
There are many translations to English, and yes, it is very different. Sometimes the idea managed to move or to be translated. But the thing is, since it's written in Hebrew, and Hebrew stands in a way for a code, and behind the code there are numbers. So once a person reads the Hebrew, he has an access to the code. While we are reading the Bible in any other language, we read it as a story, not as a source code. So in a way, the story that we read, whether it's in English or any other language, even Hebrew readers, if they don't have access to the code, they read the book literally. But as a creator or as a programmer who writes codes, when a person has the access to the Hebrew letters, to the numbers that they're reflecting in qualitative thinking, he has access to the code, to the holy, and he can see beyond the curtain, so to speak, beyond the curtain of creation. This is, so to speak, holy of holy. So I'm not sure that I answered you directly, but this is
Yes, you did.
Mm.
Thank you. You answered
You're
perfectly. Thanks.
You're welcome. Questions? I just would like to relate to the name. There is a discussion in the Babylonian Talmud what is when the name Esther is first mentioned in the Bible, in the Torah. So first we shall write the name, and then we shall move to the Babylonian discussion. The name is written with 4 letters: Aleph, Samech, Tav, and Resh. This is the name, 4 letters. And in the Babylonian Talmud there is a discussion, where do we find those letters in this order directly in the Bible or in the Torah? And interestingly, this structure of letters we find in the dialogue between Cain and God. There is a discussion between Cain and God. After Hevel is being assassinated, there is an intimate discussion between Cain and God, and Cain admits that his crime or his deed is heavier than he can carry, and he's admitting that after what he did, he feels that he hides from God. I shall bring the verse here, and we shall see. I would like us to discuss this kind of perspective, because it is interesting perspective, because it pours a different light. 1 second. this is Genesis 4:14. I'll bring it. 1 second. I shall copy it. I will bring this in a way alive, not before the class started, because I wish that people, that all of us will notice this alive, not have former opinions about, just to see the structure and not to have a prejudice about the Bible. Here is the text, and this is Genesis 4:14. Genesis 4:14. I am looking for a person who would like to read this verse in English and then in Hebrew. Let us focus on the structure. First the English. I need a volunteer to read. Who would like to read the English? This is the speech of Cain. After
I can.
yes,
read.
yes.
I can't. I don't have it centered on my page.
Do you have it now, Jill? Do you see the whiteboard?
I do, but I'm sorry, my computer isn't letting me adjust it or move it,
Okay.
and so yeah, I'm not going to be able to read it. I'm sorry.
I see that there's another reflection here. I'm gonna check. I see on YouTube the text is hiding the text. Something is happening. There's a delay on YouTube, I noticed. Okay, thank you, Jill. Who would like to read? Who sees the verse in English and can read it? I'm sorry, there's at the moment delay.
I can read it.
Thank you.
Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the land, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a wanderer in the earth. And it will come to pass that whosoever findeth me will slay me.
Thank you. This is the speech of Cain. This is part of the discussion that he has with God. And let us see the Hebrew verse. Who would like to read the Hebrew?
I can
Thank
try
you.
it. But
Thank you.
let's okay. So verse Yod Dalet.
Yes.
Hen girashta uti chayom me'al nei hadama mepneiha esther etaiti na vanad bearetz chaya ko motzi yachar geni.
Thank you so much. This is the speech of Cain. He says he understands. After what happens, he understands that this is interesting, that Cain, after killing his brother, he shall be hidden. Umi panecha esater, and from your face and from your inner or face, I shall hide myself. This is the speech of Cain. This is the discussion in the Babylonian Talmud. This is the first time we find the structure of Esther. I shall esater, I shall hide myself. Now, if this is the speech of Cain, and Cain is not a person who lived in history. Cain Cain is not just historical figure, but a quality. A quality, Cain comes from to buy, kana, to buy. If the meaning of the name Cain is to buy, and the Bible says kankan is a canteen of water or wine or any kind of thing that we can, let's say, store something inside. If kankan means, the sages are saying, kana bina, kana chokhmah, twice, kana kan. He bought wisdom and bought understanding. This is the meaning of kankan, because it can store understanding. So if you read this verse in this way, it means that the one who bought wisdom and the one who bought understanding hides himself. Do we understand this concept? It is not in a way a line that comes from historical figures. Do we understand the concept that the Bible is a book of code, and the way the Bible is written, this is how the world is working. If people read the Bible as historical story or literal, they say there was once a figure called Cain. He killed Abel, and this is how he spoke to God. And there was hidden secretary. Secretary was there in the sky or somewhere, and she was typing, like in court. She was typing the text. But this is not the case. Do we understand this? This kind of reference, it is very, very, very core thing to understand before we start reading. Because it's not that Cain as a figure, as a dramatic figure, which is hiding from God, but it's opposite. Fernando, as a lawyer, you can read a text from one direction, but you can also read a text an opposite way. Is that right?
Yes.
This is the discussion in the Babylonian Talmud about those 4 letters. And later Weinreb also mentioned that those letters also appearing in the book of Deuteronomy, when Moses speaks to the people, prepares them to the way he will not lead them anymore, and he already sees that they will go very far from God, and he warns them that when you shall be hidden from God, you will have this poetry or this singing to connect you back. I think that Felipe once quoting this verse.
Okay.
Yes.
May I ask you just one question? It is possible to say that the story of Esther is a correction from Cain, like I don't know, because the Cain aspect we made, I tend to think that is related with our ego, our selfishness, our to buy something like this, to consume everything, you know. And I am just wondering if the story of Esther could be a glance of the correction from this part of us.
Yes. Definitely, and I think that yes, that's true. Also, Felipe once asked if Esther is a correction of Rachel, because Rachel is the tree of knowledge, and yes, so the answer is positive. Yes, and yes, yes, of course, this is a correction. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Questions? Jill, do you have any question regarding the text, or if something comes to you because you read the whole book a few times and you recorded it? Do you have any question, even from other parts of the book, that you'd like or comes to you now to ask?
I don't really have any questions. I do notice that when I go back through to read, some of it I remember, and then some of it when I'm trying to figure out the words, then I'll look it up at the during the read. But I don't think I really have any questions. One thing though that when you go through and you explain it to me, I always, for just a glimpse or a second, just like when you said that, Cain is actually a figure, but it's also he also represents something else. That sometimes when you're talking about that, I get like this glimpse that I can't even explain. Kind of like when you said that we play roles, that I see it as a role, and I get just this feeling that I'm trying to figure out, but I just can't explain it. But I just want to say that.
Thank you. It is very important that you have this, even little tiniest splits of seconds of recognition, that it comes to you. It is very important. It's like a whale, that usually there is an aspect of a whale in each and every one of us. So it's hidden. It's under the water all the time. And sometimes, like the whale comes up above the water, and then we shall see like a sprinkle of water. We have this, for a split of a second, we have a recognition of something else, and then we return to the unconscious. It is very important that you notice those splits of seconds or seconds. Even if there are little tiny moments, they will come together and they will create a new notion inside. It is very important. In a way, it is good. Thank you. It's good that you mentioned this, because usually we think about Cain as assassinator, murder, and so on. This is like a story, like a beautiful drama, telenovela, but it's a quality of buying. And we can also dig it even further. What does it mean to buy something? To buy something, meaning that I'm lacking something at the moment, that if I buy something, I cover what is lacking at the moment. This is one aspect of buying. And there are many other aspects. So, again, what is Cain? Okay, the aspect of buying, but the sages are saying there's a good perspective of buying. What is a good perspective of buying? Not physical asset, but a house, a car, a horse, but to buy wisdom and to buy understanding. The Greek philosopher would argue this is to learn philosophy later in time. The good aspect, again, of buying is to buy wisdom and to buy understanding. When we speak about wisdom and understanding, we speak about the first two letters of the Tetragrammaton, Yod and He, Ya. Yod is wisdom, He is understanding. Those are the parents, the real parents that we have inside of us. Father is wisdom, mother is understanding. To buy both, kana. Yeah, kana. He bought wisdom, bought understanding, and then we have like a picture or kankan in Hebrew, and then there's infinite wisdom inside of it. And those, chokhmah and binah, wisdom and understanding, it's beyond space and time. Do we understand this concept?
Yes.
Now, let's speak about the sages and why do they say it is positive to buy wisdom and to buy understanding. The letters without the hey, Weinreb says that the hey is the feminine. So, kan and kan, kof and nun is 150, and this is another 150. Together we have 300. 300 is also a number that fits the word value, erech, value. People who have value, or people who have virtue, value or virtue in English. So it is important that a person buy wisdom, by understanding, or by virtue. He is married to the virtue. Do we understand this concept?
And Ruach HaElohim, I think.
Ruach Elohim, yes, excellent. Ruach Elohim, the Spirit of God. Ruach Elohim. Yes.
And Elohim in its feeling, I think. Also.
Yes, Elohim in its feeling, yes, God, the Spirit of God. Excuse me for the writing today. It's not clear. The Spirit of God.
No, it's great.
Spirit of God, and Elohim in its feeling, Aleph, in its feeling. The way we pronounce the Aleph, Lamed, Fe. Yes, Lamed. Hey, with which feeling, Fernando?
I think it's Aleph, but I'm not sure.
Let's see. Aleph, Lamed. Okay, let's keep it empty. Yod and Mem. Yes. This is 20. It's Yod. It's Yod. It is Yod. Yes. So here we have 15. Yes. This is 11. This is 74. Do you have it right?
Yes.
This is 300.
Yes.
Thank you.
Eti,
Yes.
I'm just thinking here about this buying wisdom and understanding. Could we say that this is not possible to make it alone? Because I remember like some classes that we study about Neshama and Ruach and everything.
Yes.
And Neshama was like more collective. This wisdom and understanding cannot be held just for a person for its own, it seems to me, but I'm not sure yet. So my question is, to buy wisdom and understanding, it must be a collective journey, let's say.
Yes.
You will need friends to talk about it, or
Yes.
or it is possible to make it alone.
Yes. There is a beautiful saying again in the Babylonian Talmud that a person who learns the Torah or the wisdom and does not share it with others is like a myrtle, a flower that gives a good scent in the desert. There is no I mean, a person who just collects wisdom, it has no meaning if it's not being shared. The whole beauty of wisdom is to share it with others and to revive the spirit of the person and those who he shares with them the divine wisdom. Otherwise, there is no use in it at all. This is why we have communities. Along the generations, we find that people are learning together, like they're friends. They play music together, they write, and so, yes. I think, did I answer?
Yes, it. Thank you. Yes, I think that is a major topic to think about. The importance of being community, maybe, or to learn together, to talk about it, and to make it the spirit live.
Yes.
So thank you.
You're most welcome, Jill. In the book, I heard you reading many times the word neshama or neshama, a soul. The soul aspect in us is here, is beyond time and space. This is understanding or the quality of a mother inside of us, or a bina. So there are people who their perspective about life comes naturally. It is coming from the neshama side. So this is what we call also long-range thinking, meaning not short, what is happening only at the moment, but they have the perspective about things. So those people who have the perspective or long-range thinking, not just businessmen or so, they would just try to get rich, but those who see for, let's say, decades ahead, they're coming from, this is their perspective, the neshama, the soul. Did I answer this perspective, Jill? Did you understand it better? Neshama?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's helped me a lot.
It isn't. Yes.
I'm sorry.
No. It is very. This is a book we can.
No, it is interesting because Esther could mean the secret of unity, as you just read it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The secret of the Aleph, or the hidden God.
Mm-hmm.
And all these translations could be right. And in this topic about Neshama, I think that the secret is that we are all one, maybe.
Yes.
That our soul is from Adam, so let's say we all participate in the same soul,
Yes.
The idea is to make the connection.
Yes, this is this is Genesis 4:14. This verse comes from Genesis 4:14. 144 Adam. Emet. All of us are a hidden aspect of the divine. All of us. Question.
It is amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It is amazing because the 4:14, it's Adam, inverted Adam, right? So
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
it is the shadow side. But we need to make like inverse, not to be a fugitive or vagabond in the world. It's to reconnect. So it's amazing. It's unbelievable how we can make so many connections from one single verse.
Thank you. Any thoughts, or Felipe, would you like to sing something, to play something? Fernando, do you have the guitar? Rose, questions, Shelton, stories? Rodrigo?
Yes, I'd like to just mention something that I noticed. Just when you were reading the verse 14, the way it's written in the English, the actual phrase that says, and from thy face shall I be hid. That's into the verse a little way. Thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the land, and from thy face shall I be hid. The way that's written in English implies that that Cain is he's the one who's being forced away, and he's the one that's being hid. The hidden is being done to him. But the way you translated it in your translation, the Hebrew, is totally the opposite. When you said, and from your inner, or from your face, I shall hide myself. The way you have said it shows that Cain made the decision to hide himself, that he chose that. I shall hide myself. That's an active verb. I shall hide myself. Whereas in the English, it comes across as a passive verb. The action's being done to him. Mm-hmm. And why I mentioned that is because in the English, I think there's an understanding that he's in a hopeless case. But from what you have said, he made that choice. Perhaps that's difficult to explain, but it's a question of the active verb and the passive verb, and maybe in English it was badly translated. And so when one would read that section, from your face shall I be hid, he's actually feeling he's being pushed away when he actually has decided to push himself away. That's how I read that. And so I find that very enlightening, because it totally, for me, changes the position of where he actually is. He chooses to hide himself, and not really God is hiding. God is hiding, but Adam has chosen to hide himself. Yes. I find that very interesting.
Yes. That's
well,
correct.
I mean, Cain has chosen to hide himself.
Yes.
Which is really what all men have done. They have chosen to hide themselves from God.
Mm-hmm.
That's their choice. I think that's all I wanted to say.
It's perfect with listen, it's very nice. What came to my mind from what you are saying is that we hide ourselves, right?
Yes.
And this is like almost every day, because who can face the silence, right? Who can face the greatness of the Lord? So we hide ourselves in our occupations and on our ego, maybe. It's a kind attitude. Very interesting to think about.
But if this is very good what you both said. But if Cain is not a historical figure, but if Cain, or the quality of buying wisdom and understanding beyond time and space, hides itself, or the cause of causes, or the reason of reasons hides itself from the manifested. When we take a walk and we see a tree or a flower, we say this is a tree, this is a flower, this is a bee. But when we have this experience of seeing a bee landing on a flower, we are marveled maybe if we notice. But at the moment that this thing is happening, we do not think about the cause of causes that cause our universe to appear, with all the planets and the animals, humans, and so. When a person walks, it's a very beautiful day, see a green boulevard, he enjoys the sun or the rain or the clouds. He really is having a few nice moments in the openness. He just likes being. Does he think about the cause of causes that created all of this beauty and oxygen for us to be? Do we think? Usually people think about this. No man created a tree, not a whale, not a bird. Scientists can go into the laboratory and create, if they take a tissue or source of something, they can duplicate it. But no man created those conditions for us to be. So we could say that God is hiding behind a tree. God is hiding behind the flower, behind the bee, behind the bird, behind the water, behind air.
I think that it is beautiful. I think that is on in Isaiah. Maybe that the earth is full of His glory,
Yes, yes.
and it's Shekinah, the glory of God. It is the hidden aspect, and also the aspect that is in Galut, in exile, like Esther. So just say that it's very beautiful what you say.
I would say that not so much there's hidden, but there is a lack of recognition, because if we recognize, God is not hidden. If we don't recognize things, it's like hidden. But if we recognize, even for little moments per day, like Gina said, this is it. Even the word recognition in English, or cognition or cognito, has to do with Cain, with the letters. Cognition, Cain, cognition. Luria says that usually people think that Cain was a murderer. This is how people tend to read the Bible, very literal. And Luria says that Cain was not a little person or assassinator. Cain was the one that the Lord, so to speak, the Tetragrammaton spoke with him. I just brought verse 14 from chapter 4. but it is the being that Havaya, Yod Hei Vav Hei, or the Lord, speaks to Cain. It is not God, Elohim, 5 letters speak to Cain, but Havaya, the being, speaks. And Luria says that Cain was very his spiritual, not as a, again, historical figure. Cain is a very, very high state of recognition. But to understand what Luria says, we have to go very slowly, step by step. Again, Cain, cognition. Cain, cognition, recognition. Question or musical pause? Or anecdote? Felipe, Fernando? Poetry? Painting? Felipe.
Yeah, he is with guitar in hand. Felipe,
Mhm.
please.
Hello, my friends. So, yes, maybe we do this. Just 1 second. So, Fernando, we shall make it together next time, right? And
Yes.
if you have the guitar, you could try to
No.
join in.
Next time. Yes, please. Really.
Yes, yes, we will do this. It's just great, Eti, to think to feel this new movement of the sessions, and I'm very happy with it. And just I prepared, just I was thinking about what to play, and a music from Tom Jobim, Antônio Carlos Jobim, came into my heart and mind, and I was trying to figure out why did it come to me to sing in class, and the name of the music in the song in Portuguese is Raining in the rose, I don't know, the rose tree. Rosebush, yes. And there is a version in English called Double Rainbow. The lyrics they are approximated, but I didn't think bringing lyrics or anything, just say some words, because I thought about Shoshan Eti, and I guess it has a relation with the book of Esther.
Mhm.
And if I'm not wrong, I may be wrong, but Shoshan is a lily or a rose. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And there is a relation with the book of Esther that Weinreb mentions.
True. That the word for lily or rose is in Hebrew Shoshana, and the value of Shoshana is 661, like the value of Esther.
Shoshana.
Mhm.
Yes, I guess this is a great secret, and I guess we shall feel this secret, and I will try to transmit something of it. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
So, Double Rainbow, or Chovendo na Roseira. Está chovendo na roseira, que só dá rosa, mas não cheira a frescura das gotas úmidas, que é de Luísa, que é de Paulinho, que é de João, que é de ninguém. pétalas de rosa espalhadas pelo vento. Um amor tão puro carregou meu pensamento. Olha, um tico-tico mora ao lado e passeando no molhado adivinhou a primavera. Olha, que chuva boa, prazenteira, que vem molhar minha roseira. Chuva boa, criadeira, que molha a terra, que enche o rio e limpa o céu, que traz o azul. Olha, o jasmineiro está florido e o riachinho de água esperta se lança em vasto rio de águas calmas. Ah, você é de ninguém. Ah, você é de ninguém. Oh, you belongs to no one. Oh, you belongs to no one.
Bravo! Thank you so
Beautiful.
much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Thank you. And this is beautiful because I was feeling this music. It's the most beautiful music from Tom Jobim for me. And now singing it, I see that it has everything to do with our topic. And just one thing I would like to point is this quality of the rose, the Shoshana, and the Esther, which is hidden, and it's like she belongs to no one, like we in our spirit, our neshama, it also belongs to no one. It's it's like a inner reality and everything we were talking about. And also I was thinking that about Cain and to buy, and there is some things you cannot buy
Mhm.
because it's from God and belongs to no one. So I'm very happy to bring this for us.
It is amazing, Felipe. If I may, I found it in English here, and the verse is like, the rain is falling on the roses, the fragrance drifts across the garden, like the scent of some forgotten melody. This melody belongs to you, belongs to me, belongs to no one, right? So it is like what Eti said, that God is everywhere, but we cannot see, but the poet can see, he can feel it. It is beautiful. Congratulations, Felipe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's awesome to bring music, and it's I was just for sharing something, if I may.
Hmm.
Uh, there is a show here in Brazil, and it's an interview show, and something was very very interesting because while the interview was happening, there was this cartoonist, and he makes some drawings and some caricatures. I don't know if this is correct, the term, but what I trying to say that while these conversations are happening, there is an aspect of the art, and it's very good to bring because it's a complement of this intellectual realm. So this is it. I'm very happy and just want to expand as much as possible this idea.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And all of us are invited. First of all, thank you so much, Felipe, Fernando, for playing music for us. And thank you for appearing, friends, here on Discord and on YouTube. And I would like to invite you for another session on Wednesday this week. And everybody's invited to donate or to share ideas and music together. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Eti. Thank you, friends. Amazing
Thank
to
you,
be here.
for the
Thank you,
readings.
too. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
See you on Wednesday. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Felipe and Fernando, Eti, and everybody. Shalom, shalom.
Thank
Shalom,
you.
shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Thank you, Jill, Ruth, Shelton, Fernando, Felipe. Have a beautiful, wonderful week ahead. Shalom, shalom.